Just a couple of things. Just obviously very very proud of our guys. Just how resilient they were. They've been that way all season long. Certainly this week and tonight, no exception there. So just really happy for our football team. We needed a win, and the guys really did a great job fighting for that. Northwestern, don't mind telling you, I'm thinking about some bad memories up here, especially in the fourth quarter, going back to 2005. So one thing about them over the years, they show up and play every time you play them, and it's a 60-minute game, and tonight was no exception. So again, just really happy for our guys. Proud they made the plays we need to win, and certainly the turnover margin's a big thing anytime in college football, certainly. And tonight's game was a big deal. So for Dane to get a couple picks, Jamari down in the end zone getting one, that was big, and we did a good job protecting the football. Happy with the balance offensively for us. Run pass. Pretty much 50-50, and guys did a good job. And then certainly a couple guys of note, Alex coming in and doing a good job off the bench, prepared well, and certainly played pretty well out there. And Tyler Goodson, a good job, and then some of the younger guys contributing as well. So a lot of positives, just happy to get the victory, and we'll head back to Iowa here and regroup tomorrow.
All right, Coach, the first question this evening is from Tom Kakers.
Hey, Kirk, can you go into some detail about making the decision to take Spencer out and his injury and what went into all your thoughts there?
Yeah, so he got hurt last week at the end of the game there, hit the turf pretty hard, and was nursing it all the way through the week. Made pretty good progress. Looked like he was ready to go on Friday, which is yesterday. It feels like it was about 4 days ago. And then, just tonight, watch him in pregame. Didn't look like he had a lot of zip on the ball, and then that was kind of our feeling once the game got going. He was there mentally, but just not able to really throw the football the way you have to be effective. So felt like it was in, everybody's best interest to get him out of there. The good news is he didn't get hit or go backwards, and the other good news is Alex stepped in and did a really good job.
The next question, Kirk, is from John Steppe.
Do you have an idea yet of what Spencer's status is going to be moving forward?
Well, yeah, I think fine. I'm not a doctor, needless to say, but he made good progress during the week. We were all confident he'd be able to go today, and looked pretty good yesterday, but just again didn't have the zip on the ball. So I don't think it's anything major. Just it's something you got to work through, and hopefully Monday, Tuesday he'll be back full speed.
The next question from Scott Doctorman.
Yeah, Kirk, there's no denying that when Alex went in there was a spark. I mean, he really led you on 2 scoring drives. Really seemed to have command of the offense. I mean, what did you think immediately, and did you kind of feel that as well, that it seemed like he really energized your offense?
Yeah, certainly anytime you throw, move the ball, that's a good thing, and score points, that's the bottom line. So, yeah, I was really pleased and really proud of the way he prepared during the week, did a good job there, and then certainly I thought he did a lot of good things on the field tonight. Again, most importantly, just moving the ball, driving it, and scoring. But the rest of it is, you really can't downgrade Spencer because he couldn't play full speed, and we've got a couple other guys in that same category. So I admire Spencer for giving it a try, and he gave it his best try, and so we'll just see where that is next week. And then in the meantime, it's great to see Alex get some experience and be successful, and to be the quarterback of a team that wins. That's a real positive, certainly, and that's like all of us. I mean, that's the number one requisite anytime you line up and play or compete.
The next question, Coach, is from Kennington Smith.
Hey, Coach, what strides did you see in the offensive line tonight, especially after Mason went down and put on sub in for him, and things seem to continue to keep moving?
Yeah, I just got off of the radio with Gary and Ed and said, as I alluded to a minute ago, we've got a lot of guys, and everybody does. We're 9 weeks into it now, 9 games into it. Everybody's got guys that are not at full speed right now and maybe can't practice full speed. So, that's really kind of hurt us in the line. We're not the most experienced group. And then I think probably the biggest thing is that we haven't been able to practice the way you like to practice on a routine basis. So we're not seeing that progress coming maybe as fast as you hope. All that being said, I thought this week we had a better week of practice because guys were able to go with pretty good tempo, and hoping it would show up tonight. And I think it did to a degree. We'll have to wait and see, what the tape looks like. To that point, Mason had to come out of the ball game. I don't think it's anything real serious, but he had to come out. Jack Plum and Nick DeYoung did a good job, carrying it from there on in. So, hopefully as we move forward, we just, continue to improve there. That's really going to help our chances as a football team if we can, make progress up front.
The next question from Chad Leistico.
Hey, Coach. Congrats.
Thank you.
If Spencer is 100%, is there any doubt in your mind that he will be the starter? You kind of need to look at the film and kind of evaluate the spark that Alex gave you as you head into this week.
Yeah, we'll look at the film, see what we think, and I know this. I know Spencer's led us to a lot of victories, and tonight Alex did. So, to me, that's a good situation, and really proud of Alex for what he did, and really proud of all the things Spencer's done over the last 2 years as well. So, yeah, we'll just take it a day at a time, but hopefully it's pardon the pun, but a healthy situation for us.
The next question from Scott Docterman.
Yeah, Kirk, at the end of the game, it's kind of that turtle and yin-yang of do you try and pass or do you force them to use all their timeouts? What ultimately was the kind of the decision-making process to just go ahead and run 3 plays, force them to leave their timeouts and punt versus what if we try to roll them out, maybe throw a pass, but
All right. A lot of that just, to me at least, plays out depending on how the game's played out. And at that point, me personally, I had really a lot of confidence in our defensive play. And I was confident that Torrey would get the ball down, into decent field position too. We kind of, changed our protection a little bit, a little bit more secure, a little less coverage. And but Torrey did a great job getting it out. And we were confident the defense would be able to, hold them. But, you never know. Like I said, I'm going back 16 years ago, but it's not a pleasant memory. We had our chances there. But, it's like every game. There are things during the course of the game that, you'd love to be able to change or get back, block the punt, obviously. And then letting them out of their end when we had them, first in 97. And next thing you know, the ball's at midfield. So those are the things that make it tough, but just had confidence our defense would get the stop.
The next question from Kennington Smith.
Hey, Coach, could you elaborate on what you said earlier about injuries not allowing you to practice how you would want along the offensive line, maybe how that changes or negatively affects development and how that kind of plays out on Saturdays when you don't have those practice reps that you're hoping for?
Yeah, it's been a while. We just haven't had everybody at full speed. Go back to Collar Shot, breaking his foot right before camp and missing whatever it was, 4, 6, 8 weeks. I don't know. It feels like it was forever. So, he hasn't been, there's a reason we go to camp, right? There's a reason we got those 3 weeks of training camp, and then you start playing. And especially at the offensive line of all the positions, there's a lot of growth and development that goes on during preseason practice, and then certainly during the game weeks. One after another. That's really where guys really learn how to play and learn how to play better and improve. And our best teams have improved as we've gone. So it's kind of been a little bit of an impediment towards our improvement, and it's made it a little bit tougher certainly. But it's not because guys aren't trying or they don't care. It's just it's a reality. So if a guy can't practice, and Cody Ince really couldn't get a lot of work this week. So hopefully we'll get him back Monday too. But, you're talking about a guy like him, Ivory Kelly Martin, that really couldn't go. And, a couple guys that are experienced players. Then equally as important are the younger guys. When they can't practice, obviously they're not going to be getting better. But, we're not unique in college football. Everybody's kind of fighting the same battles.
Next question, Coach, is from Michael Loss.
Colorado's not one of your primary recruiting areas. How did Padilla come your way, or how did you come his way?
Yeah, that's an interesting thing, and I guess you're exactly right. We don't do a lot in Colorado. I haven't had a lot of success, but quarterbacks are like a world of their own, quite frankly. And so Ken's the primary evaluator of quarterbacks. He's the guy coaching them. So you never know where his journeys are going to take him and where guys are geographically. I think about when Spencer came, it was he and Zach Wilson were the 2 guys that we were targeted after losing out on a guy down in Texas. So you're talking about Texas, California, and Utah for the top 3 guys that we were at later in the year. In Alex's case, it just worked out, and we seemed to mesh. Alex's dad actually is from the West Coast, California native, and played at Colorado State, so that's what took him to Colorado. I married a woman from Colorado. So like a lot of us, you end up where your wife's from, that type of deal. But anyway, it all resonated, it all worked, and it was great to get him on our football team.
The next question from John Steppe.
What have you seen from Jamari the last couple of games? Obviously getting his first career interception today.
Well, really, proud of him and pleased for him, for stepping in. We've had an inordinate, talking about injuries, right? You just, we're a little thin there. With Matt, we thought we were in pretty good shape with 3 pretty experienced guys at corner, and then 2 of those guys have been sitting out the last couple of weeks. So Jamari's the next man in, did a really good job, and, he's been beat on a couple plays, maybe could be a little smarter at certain times. But, that's how you learn, too, and he survived that. It was good to see him finish off with a pick today down there in the end zone, really good. That should be good for his confidence. But just like we're talking about those linemen, every snap's a really valuable snap, whether it be in practice and then, these game repetitions. So hopefully this is the start of a good career for him, and, we'll just keep our fingers crossed.
A couple more questions tonight, Coach. The first is from Chad Leistico.
Just a quick detail question. To make a quarterback change, is that you that says that, or is that Brian, or what? How does that happen? And then I got to follow up real quick.
Sure. So, we you're talking about like next week, not tonight?
No, tonight.
Oh,
Like you say, hey,
yeah.
let's put Alex in. Is that you?
Yeah, well, I think all of us were seeing the same thing. Spencer just couldn't throw it. He couldn't throw it. Not with, zip on it.
And then my follow-up is just, I know it wasn't pretty, and that 2005 memory is
Still pretty fresh.
comparison. Yeah, it's a good comparison if you had lost.
Yeah.
But how can even just a narrow win like this, especially against Fitzgerald, who has tormented you with close wins, could that help you in these last 3 games, in your opinion?
Yeah, thanks for the compliment. I really appreciate that. So, these guys have beaten a few teams over the years, and that's how they got to Indy twice. They got a great program, and Pat's, I think, done an unbelievable job here. And he's been great for the university. Certainly an outstanding football coach. And one thing, since he's taken over, with all due respect before then, but, when you line up against them, I can't remember a game where they weren't competing really hard. So, hopefully they say the same about us. But that's where it all starts. That's where winning starts. So, unfortunately, as a coach, there's certain memories you can't shake, and they usually are those bad ones. And that 05 one was a tough loss, really tough ride home afterwards. So, when things start going, sometimes those little things creep in your mind. But luckily, our players have no idea, and they just kept playing and got the job done.
Excuse me, the next question from Pennington Smith.
There seemed to be a lot of play action looks tonight on offense. Is that a function of the ground game getting going, or is that something that Alex is really comfortable with, that you wanted to roll with that, or is it both?
No, we really didn't change the game plan an awful lot once Alex went in the game. In fact, I really can't think of much that we eliminated. And, he's done a really good job in practice, not only this past week, but just overall in general. He's, I think, pretty comfortable with everything we're doing. And the play action part just, was hope in part to get the run game going a little bit more and see if we couldn't help out there. So, we'll just see where each week takes us. But, that was part of our thinking. Again, really no major adjustment once Alex went in.
Take 2 more questions. The first from Scott Dockerman.
Yeah, it was a good night for you running the football, probably one of the better nights that you've had all year. What does that do for you on offense, confidence-wise, just to be able to get that going?
It makes the world a lot better. And, part of that's playing from a front position, or at least, being right there, 3-point game, that type of deal. It allows you to do what you want to do a little bit more and be more balanced. And, certainly last week we were down 20-0 right off the bat. That alters things, especially in the second half. So I think, you guys know us well enough. We'd prefer to play with balance, have the ability to do, run and pass and mix the play action in. So, but you also have to do whatever it takes to be successful. But hopefully that'll be, the start of building something good. And if we're going to be successful down the stretch here, the weather can change, all those kinds of things. So, we're going to need to be able to run the football.
Final question tonight from Tom Kicker.
Kirk, a little lighter question. You ever
Sure.
been involved in a game that had protesters come on the field or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the answer is no. Pretty sure. And I got to tell you, I wasn't really impressed just looking across the field. The banners, I couldn't tell what they were. I don't know if they were protesting the food in the cafeterias here, what it might have been, but I kind of lost interest and just started looking down the other end, and so I'm not sure how it all got resolved. But it was one for the books. It did seem to obviously slow momentum down a little bit, and whatever. But yeah, it was interesting.
All right, Coach,
Okay,
congratulations.
thanks, guys.